Christmas. Welcome to the Christmas Eve edition of Driveway Primitive. And today, let's look in Santa's bag here. Today we're going to be talking about slingshots. And I know I've been playing with those shepherd slings lately. The ones like they used, old Davy and Goliath played with back in the day. But this is the kind they used around here in the Appalachian Mountains, the southern tips of the Appalachian Mountains. My grandfather grew up during the Depression, and him and his brothers used to hunt with these. There's this stereotype that everybody had rifles and shotguns and things around here, but most people were really, really poor. They didn't even know that the Depression had hit them. So a family was lucky if it had one gun, and young boys and girls used these. My grandfather's dad died when he was very young, and their mother raised them. And she was great. She kept this whole community going. I mean, a lot of people did, but she was a big figure in this area, and not for having money, but for having ideas and stick-to-itiveness. So her boys hunted with these, and as Claude grew up, he raised two boys. My grandfather raised my dad and my uncle, and he made these. Every time he'd cut a tree down or a bush, and he had a good V in it, he'd cut these out, and they were all over the farm. This one's older than me, but I found it the other day. I used to find them all the time when I was a kid and play with them and then lose them myself, and this might be the last one around, so I'm going to keep it forever, so at least my boy can see what his grandfather did. But that was the inspiration. And this is what I made the other day as a gift to a friend. And of course, I've done a few more modern things to it. My grandfather would use inner tubes, tire inner tubes, to cut strips for his stretchy cord. But I'm using this surgical tubing that you can get at Home Depot. Now this one was a replacement kit for one of those modern slingshots, and I think I paid somewhere around $3 at Walmart for this. This is a Marksman. And again, it's just surgical tubing. Already has a little leather patch on it. And they go over the tips of your modern slingshots. But for this one, I've just drilled about a 3/8 inch hole. And I've slipped this through and tied knots, and it works just as well. Well, it works well. It works good for me. I see no difference. But I've been playing with this thing and for a few minutes. You can already see I've dinged it up a little bit, but that's just going to be battle scars when I pass it on. I had to make sure it works. And you'll see some video of me shooting these Christmassy Coke bottles behind me. Just beating it in a little bit before I pass it along. So how I did this is I got a pattern. I just made me a little pattern out of poster board, and traced it on this board. A couple of things are going on this board. This is an inch thick oak that a friend, I have a friend whose dad has a sawmill, and he let me pick through a couple of boards to do some projects on. And you can see I've traced enough things on here to make the board worthwhile. And the original design I got off slingshot.org, I think, and it had a hole in it, but I didn't want that hole. I just wanted the grip, because it's a great grip. It just fits right in that part of your hand. It's just really feels good, and I kind of give it a little flip when I shoot, so that's nice for me. That really feels good about it, and I've enjoyed this slingshot for the 30 minutes that it's been made. And again, I'm going to pass it on, but obviously I plan to do some repeats, so we'll see how that project goes, and I'm hoping to get into it a little bit more, just like with the ladles and the shepherd slings and the fire kits and things, and the bow. I'm wanting to make a bow here soon, so we got to keep going with the driveway, learning things. Merry Christmas to everybody, and God bless you all. It's going to be a good year this year, I think. Cat, I don't want any innocent bystanders. The cats like to run after the stones, which can get a little dangerous. Oh! bad. Again, these little rocks are the best for this. Cat. I do not want to light you up, kitty. Oh, just getting too high. Just getting too high. Oh, and again, curious cat. I never claimed I was any good. It's kind of like with all the other stuff I play with. Oh, knocked them both down. I don't think that counts though.